In the vast Pacific, a nation of scattered atolls quietly endures. This is Kiribati. Its beauty is subtle, slender islands, turquoise lagoons, and endless horizons shaped by the ocean's rhythm. Life here is inseparable from the sea, which provides, connects, and defines every aspect of existence. The islands, mere slivers above the waves, cradle vibrant communities and unique ecosystems. To visit Kiribati is to discover a world in deep harmony with nature, both beautiful and vulnerable. This is an invitation to explore Kiribati's quiet wonders before they are lost to the rising tides. Kiribati straddles the equator and sits at the world's easternmost time zone, where each new day begins. Its 33 islands, scattered across a vast ocean, are united by resilience and a unique identity. Kiribati, the world's largest coral atoll, stands as a sanctuary for seabirds and a testament to nature's power. Isolation has fostered rich traditions and independence across the archipelago. Here, the dawn of each day is a symbol of hope, and the people live at the intersection of time and tide. Even the smallest, most remote places can hold a central place in our planet's story. In Kiribati, the horizon is a constant, where sky and sea merge in endless blue. The ever-changing sky and vibrant water shape daily life, providing food connection and inspiration. Homes are open to the sea breeze, children learn to read the tides and stars. Traditional knowledge passed down through generations is vital for survival. The cycle of sun, rain, and ocean sustains life on these fragile atolls. To be here is to witness the intimate dance between sky and sea. Kiribati's story began with volcanic eruptions deep beneath the Pacific, building islands that later sank. Coral polyps then took over, constructing living reefs atop the submerged peaks. Over millennia, these reefs formed protective rings, atolls, cradling lagoons within. The islands are built not of rock, but of coral skeletons and sand, shaped by patient collective life. This origin defines Kiribati, a land forged by both fire and the tireless work of tiny creatures. It is a fragile masterpiece, floating in the vast blue. To understand Kiribati, know the atoll, a ring of coral reef, scattered islets, and a central lagoon. The outer reef shields the islands from the Pacific's force, while the motu, narrow strips of land, host life. Lagoon waters, calm and shallow, are nurseries for marine life and the heart of daily activity. The contrast between ocean and lagoon sides shapes every aspect of atoll living. Reef, motu, and lagoon form a delicate, interconnected system, nature's own engineering marvel. This balance has sustained Kiribati for generations in the heart of the Pacific. One of Kiribati's greatest marvels is the existence of fresh water on these narrow strips of porous coral sand. The islands have no rivers or lakes, and the ground drains rainfall instantly. Yet a precious, hidden freshwater lens exists, making habitation possible. Rainwater soaks down through the sand, and because fresh water is less dense than salt water, it floats on top. Wells are dug by hand to access this water, but must be carefully managed to avoid saltwater intrusion. This lens allows for the cultivation of essential food crops like breadfruit and coconut palms. The nation's food security is precariously balanced on this life-sustaining bubble of fresh water. A common misconception about islands is that they are fixed and permanent features. In Kiribati, however, the land is in a constant state of flux. The atolls are not static monuments of stone, but dynamic systems of sand and gravel. They are shaped and reshaped by the eternal forces of wind, waves, and currents. The very sand that forms the beaches is on a perpetual journey. It's eroded from one part of an island and deposited on another, causing shorelines to shift, grow, and shrink over time. An area that was a sandy beach a generation ago might now be part of the lagoon, while new land may have appeared elsewhere. This dynamism is a natural part of the atoll life cycle. The Kiribati have always understood this, and have lived with this reality for generations. Their traditional knowledge includes a deep understanding of ocean currents and sand movements. They know which areas are prone to erosion and which are likely to accumulate sand. This knowledge has historically informed where they build their homes and plant their crops. Living in Kiribati requires an acceptance that the ground beneath your feet is not entirely solid, but is part of a slow, unending dance with the ocean. It's a perspective that fosters adaptability and a profound respect for the power of the sea. Storms play a major role in this process of transformation. A large storm can dramatically alter the landscape of an atoll in a matter of hours. Powerful waves can wash over the low-lying motu, moving vast quantities of sand, carving new channels, or closing old ones. While this can be destructive, it is also a creative force. These same storm waves are what built the islands in the first place, by throwing coral rubble and sand up onto the reef flat. This process, known as overwash, is essential for building the island's elevation and maintaining it over time. It's a violent but necessary part of the atoll's natural maintenance system. However, this natural dynamism is now being accelerated and exacerbated by climate change. Rising sea levels and changing weather patterns are altering the delicate balance that has allowed these islands to persist. The natural processes of erosion and accretion are being disrupted. The gradual, predictable shifts that people could adapt to are becoming more rapid and erratic. The very motion that has always defined the islands is now becoming a source of great uncertainty. The story of Kiribati's geography is therefore an ongoing one, with its future being written by the interaction of its natural, dynamic systems and the unprecedented pressures of a changing global climate. At the heart of every atoll in Kiribati lies its most captivating feature, the lagoon. These vast, sheltered bodies of water are protected by coral. The water here is often astonishingly clear. These lagoons are the center of community life. Children learn to swim in these calm waters. Fishermen pole their small outrigger canoes across the glassy surface. The lagoon is a provider, a source of sustenance. It is a vast, natural larder, teeming with fish. This relationship with the lagoon is intimate and deeply ingrained in the culture. These crystal sanctuaries are a treasure. The beaches of Kiribati are unique, made from the skeletal remains of the reef. The result is dazzling white sand, sometimes tinged with pink. It feels soft and powdery underfoot. These dynamic beaches are constantly sculpted by the elements. On the lagoon side, beaches are wide and gently sloping, a place of peace. The ocean side is different, with coarser sand and a steeper shoreline. The sand is the very substance of the islands, the material from which Kiribati is built. The whispering sands are the voice of the island. Just beyond the shoreline, beneath the surface of the turquoise water, lies one of Kiribati's greatest natural wonders, the coral reefs. These are the underwater rainforests of our planet, ecosystems of staggering complexity and breathtaking beauty. To dip below the waves here is to enter another world. The silence of the air is replaced by the gentle crackle and pop of the reef, the sound of countless tiny creatures going about their lives. The light filters down from the surface, creating dancing patterns on the seafloor. And everywhere you look, there is color and movement. These are the gardens of the sea, cultivated by nature over thousands of years. The architects of these gardens are the corals themselves. They grow in a bewildering array of shapes and sizes. Some form huge, solid domes that look like giant brains. Others branch out like the antlers of a stag or form delicate plate-like tears. They come in a kaleidoscope of colors, pinks, purples, yellows, and greens, though the color actually comes from tiny algae that live within the coral's tissue in a symbiotic relationship. These intricate coral structures provide shelter, food, and breeding grounds for a huge diversity of other organisms. They are the foundation of this entire vibrant community. Swimming through these gardens is an unforgettable experience. Schools of brightly colored fish like living jewels dart in and out of the coral branches. A parrotfish with its powerful beak nibbles away at the coral, its crunching sound echoing through the water. A majestic sea turtle might glide gracefully by, its ancient eyes seemingly full of wisdom. In the crevices, you might spot a shy octopus or a spiny lobster. Every square meter of the reef is teeming with life, from the smallest shrimp to the largest predators like reef sharks, which patrol the edges of the reef, keeping the ecosystem in balance. These coral gardens are not just beautiful, they are essential to the survival of Kiribati. They are the source of the sand that forms the islands. They are the natural breakwater that protects the land from the full force of ocean storms. And they are a critical source of food for the Kiribati people, who have fished these reefs sustainably for generations. The health of the people is inextricably linked to the health of the reef. These underwater marvels are a perfect illustration of the delicate interconnectedness of life on an atoll, a vibrant, living testament to the beauty and fragility of the natural world. The boundary where the atoll meets the open ocean is a place of immense energy and drama. This is the outer reef slope, the seaward face of the atoll. Here, the reef plunges steeply into the deep, dark blue of the Pacific. It is a vertical world, a sheer wall of coral that is constantly battered by powerful ocean swells. This is not the gentle, protected environment of the lagoon. It is a wild and dynamic frontier. The water clarity here can be astounding, offering seemingly endless visibility down into the abyss. For experienced divers, exploring this reef edge is like flying along the face of an underwater mountain range. This high-energy environment supports a different kind of marine life. The corals that grow here are often more robust, built to withstand the constant surge of the waves. The fish are larger and travel in bigger schools. This is the domain of pelagic species, animals that live in the open ocean. Silvery jacks hunt in coordinated packs, flashing through the water like bolts of lightning. Giant manta rays, with wingspans of several meters, soar effortlessly on the ocean currents, feeding on plankton. This is also where you are most likely to encounter sharks, the apex predators of the reef, whose presence is a key indicator of a healthy, thriving ecosystem. The Kiribati have a deep and respectful relationship with this ocean edge. It is a place of great bounty, but also of great danger. The fishermen who venture out beyond the reef in their canoes are masters of their craft. They have a profound understanding of the currents, the tides, and the behavior of the ocean's inhabitants. They read the water and the sky with an expertise passed down through countless generations. Catching the large fish of the open ocean, such as tuna and wahoo, requires immense skill and courage. It is a practice that connects them directly to the power and majesty of the Pacific. This reef edge is the true front line of the atoll's existence. It is here that the creative and destructive forces of the ocean are most apparent. It is the reef that dissipates the energy of the waves, protecting the islands that lie behind it. It is the first to feel the impacts of a changing ocean, such as warming waters that can cause coral bleaching. Life on the reef's edge is a constant dance between growth and erosion, creation and destruction. It is a powerful reminder that Kiribati exists in a delicate balance, a fragile sanctuary built and sustained by the very ocean that perpetually threatens to reclaim it. The Kiribati are an integral part of their ecosystem. Their culture is woven from the land and sea. For thousands of years, they've lived intimately with their environment, developing deep knowledge. This wisdom, passed down through generations, includes survival skills and ecological understanding. They are the keepers of its delicate balance. The Kiribati learn from a young age to read nature's signs. The stars are their map, enabling navigation across vast oceans. This knowledge is vital for survival and sustainability. Communities work together, sharing resources. The land and sea are relatives to be respected, fostering stewardship. They practice methods ensuring long-term sustainability. They are living with Kiribati in a partnership that has endured for centuries. Central to the Kiribati connection with the sea is the outrigger canoe, known as the wa. This is far more than just a boat. It is a masterpiece of traditional engineering and a vessel of cultural significance. For a people living on scattered islands, the wa has always been the essential link to food, to neighboring islands, and to the wider world. Each canoe is built by hand with meticulous care, using materials sourced from the local environment. The hull is often carved from the trunk of a breadfruit tree, while the bindings are made from coconut husk fiber. The sail, traditionally, was woven from pandanus leaves. The design of the wa is perfectly suited to its environment. It is light and fast and remarkably stable, capable of navigating the calm waters of the lagoon and the challenging swells of the open ocean. The single outrigger provides the stability needed to handle the wind and waves. The Kiribati are masters of sailing these craft, using their knowledge of wind and currents to travel with grace and efficiency. Watching a wa glide across the turquoise lagoon, its triangular sail catching the breeze, is to witness a perfect harmony between human ingenuity and the forces of nature. It is a timeless and beautiful sight. Building a canoe is a sacred process, steeped in tradition and ceremony. The knowledge is passed from father to son, from master builder to apprentice. It is a craft that takes a lifetime to perfect. The builders are not just carpenters. They are artists who understand the spirit of the wood and the soul of the ocean. The launching of a new canoe is a major community event, celebrated with feasts and blessings. The Wa is treated with the utmost respect, almost as a member of the family. It is the key to life, the provider of food, and the symbol of freedom and mobility. The skills of navigation associated with the Wa are just as remarkable. Before the arrival of modern instruments, Kiribati mariners were among the greatest navigators the world has ever known. They could read the swells of the ocean, the patterns of the stars, the flight paths of birds, and the color of the water to find their way across hundreds of kilometers of open sea. This was a mental map, a deep, intuitive understanding of the ocean's language. Though these skills are rarer today, they represent the pinnacle of the Kiribati connection to the sea. The Wa is not just a tool, it is the embodiment of their courage, their knowledge, and their enduring bond with the Pacific. The Kiribati vividly express their connection to the environment through rich oral traditions. Stories, songs, and dances carry knowledge, history, and values. They tell of island creation, ancestral heroes, and reinforce identity. Chants and songs echo the environment, mimicking seabirds and ocean rhythms. Traditional dances use precise movements to tell stories, embodying the spirit of the atolls. These traditions hold essential environmental knowledge, passing on wisdom in engaging forms. The stories, songs, and dances are the soul of the Kiribati people. The Kiribati way of life is built upon a fundamental pact with the land and sea. The ocean is the main source of protein, offering a rich variety of fish. The land provides coconuts, breadfruit, and the taro-like root crop known as babai. This fosters a deep understanding of the environment's limits and a powerful incentive to manage it sustainably. The cultivation of babai is a perfect example of this pact, requiring patience and hard work. The coconut tree is often called the tree of life in Kiribati. Every part of the tree is used. The land and sea are populated by spirits and governed by ancient taboo, reinforcing sustainable practices. The most profound threat to Kiribati is one that arrives silently. Global climate change is causing the world's oceans to warm and expand, leading to a steady rise in sea level. For a nation where the highest point is only a few meters above the waves, the implications are terrifying. The rising tide is a daily reality, flooding homes, roads, and community spaces. Salt water inundates the land, poisoning the ground and threatening food security. Beaches are being washed away, and the narrow strips of land are visibly shrinking. This loss of land is an existential threat to the nation itself. The nation's only international airport is highly vulnerable to flooding and erosion. For the people of Kiribati, this is a slow-motion disaster unfolding before their eyes. They are facing the potential loss of their homeland, their culture, and their identity. Beyond land loss, the rising sea threatens Kiribati's fresh water. The freshwater lens, sustained by rainfall, is the sole source of drinking water. Rising sea levels and coastal flooding contaminate this precious resource. Wells become too salty to drink, forcing families to travel further for potable water. Contamination devastates crops like babai and breadfruit. Reliance on imported food leads to health problems. This crisis threatens life on the atolls. Kiribati face an impossible choice: stay and fight, or leave their homes behind. The struggle for fresh water is the struggle for Kiribati's future. Climate change brings increasing intensity and unpredictability of extreme weather events. Storms seem more powerful, generating larger waves and destructive storm surges, causing erosion and flooding. The coral reefs are facing a climate-driven crisis: coral bleaching. Bleached coral will die, becoming less effective as a natural breakwater. Rising seas, weakened reefs, and intense storms create a perfect storm. This washes away homes and graveyards, adding cultural grief to material losses. Faced with this onslaught, the people of Kiribati demonstrate resilience. Our journey through Kiribati has revealed profound beauty and fragility. We've explored crystal lagoons, white sands, and vibrant coral gardens. The atoll's elegance, with its protective reef and life-giving lagoon, is a wonder. The Kiribati have lived in harmony with this environment for millennia, yet rising seas threaten these low-lying lands, questioning Kiribati's very existence. Kiribati's story is a powerful message to humanity, highlighting our planet's interconnectedness. It's an urgent reminder of our shared responsibility for the health of our world. Kiribati's challenges are a clear warning for the entire world. Rising sea levels and increasing storms are not unique to atoll nations. They are symptoms of a global imbalance. Kiribati is on the front line. By understanding their plight, we can better prepare for the future that awaits us all. This requires industrialized nations to reduce carbon emissions and mitigate unavoidable impacts. The people of Kiribati are fighting with courage for their right to exist. Their culture of conservation is a model the world can learn from. It is essential for our collective survival on this shared planet. Despite the immense challenges and the uncertainty that clouds their future, the spirit of the Kiribati people remains unbroken. There is a remarkable resilience here, a determination to fight for their home and their culture until the very last moment. They are not passive victims waiting for the waves to wash them away. They are innovators and advocates. They are planting mangroves to protect their coastlines. They are building elevated rainwater harvesting systems. They are raising their voices on the international stage, speaking with moral clarity and demanding justice. This courage in the face of an existential threat is profoundly inspiring. This hope is rooted in their deep connection to their islands. For the Kiribati, leaving their land is not a simple matter of relocation. It means leaving behind their ancestors, their culture, their identity, and their place in the world. Their land is the foundation of their very being. This is why they continue to plant babai in pits threatened by salt. It is why they continue to teach their children the ancient songs and the skills of the canoe. It is an act of defiance against the encroaching sea, a declaration that their culture will endure. This is the tide of hope, a powerful human current pushing back against the physical tide of the ocean. The world has a choice to make. We can watch as this unique and beautiful nation, a cradle of human culture and natural wonder, disappears beneath the waves. Or we can choose to act. We can choose to see the fate of Kiribati as intrinsically linked to our own. We can harness our collective ingenuity, technology, and compassion to address the root causes of climate change and to help those on the front lines adapt. The protection of Kiribati is a test of our shared humanity. Its survival would be a powerful symbol of what we can achieve when we work together for a common cause. The story of Kiribati is ultimately a call to appreciate and protect the precious, fragile beauty of our world. It urges us to look closer at the hidden wonders of our planet and to recognize their immense value before it is too late. The sun will continue to rise first on these islands, painting the sky with colors of a new day. Let us work to ensure that this dawn continues to illuminate the homes and hopes of the Kiribati people for generations to come. Let us ensure that the tide of hope rises higher than the tide of the sea, and that the echo on the water is one of survival, not of loss.